Go to the class. Okay, so Alafia, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome in. Thank you so much. Um, it's the phone. Okay. All right. Bet. Okay, no worries, no worries. All right. So first off, proactive apologies. I have not eaten today. I have been up a while doing mommy things. And so yeah, I'm gonna snack while I teach. I have I have papers. I have papers. So you might want to grab yourself some paper. You might want to grab a pencil as we get ready to get started. So welcome. This was initially supposed to be a regular webinar. So I'm grateful in advance for all the gifts, donations, and things of that nature. Very grateful for all of the things today. So I am launching or have launched, it's actually on my site for enrollment available right now, a new self mastery through divination. So, Self Mastery Through Divination is a series of courses that I teach, and the intention of those courses is just what the title says, for you to develop use divination specifically for the purpose of self mastery. And we've done just some general divination. We did our using our tools this last round. And dream interpretation is something I enjoy. I'm very passionate about. Alafia Tia, Agoato. Um, I'm very passionate about dream divination. It's something that dreams have been something I've done since I was a child, but I didn't understand their importance. Totally didn't understand the significance of my dreams and the importance. I wish now someone had told me as a kid to write my dreams down, because some of the dreams that I can glimpse from my childhood are likely would have been very significant in my adult life. Alafia Naya, Abo Ato Ashuri Iwoyofu. I hope you are feeling well. So, understanding that as a kid, this is something I would have wanted to have. I would have wanted to better understand my dreams. I would have wanted to understand why I was having the types of dreams I was having. I would have wanted some tools to help me, especially having things like nightmares, night terrors, and things of that nature. So before I keep going, can anybody relate to that? Can I get some emojis in the chat to let me know that y'all relate to this, like having dreams in your childhood, but not really understanding them, not having anybody to tell you what to understand about your dreams to help you to navigate them. Can I get some emojis? Ashe, Alafia Karita, Aboato, Ashe, yeah, Ashe. So, this new course, Self Mastery Through Divination certificate program for dream interpretation. So, this is going to be a 12 to 13-month journey where we're going to dive into the different facets of dream interpretation. Each month is going to cover a different area of dream interpretation. But today, for the very very high price of your time and free your gifts, donations, and all these things, today we're going to do a kickoff. This is a kickoff for the curriculum that everybody gets to experience. That way, if you are like, I don't know, you want to know my teaching style, can you learn from me? This is a way you get your foot in the water. This is you putting your foot in the water to see if this is something that would work out for you, that you would benefit from. So today we're going to be doing a class on cultivating a dream practice. This was a part of one of my larger programs, and I do this every year. Hold on. Did I hit it? Oh, there she goes. So this is part of one of my larger programs, and so now I'm teaching it today because for me this is the foundational stuff. This foundation. So just like any of my other classes, any of my other courses, I like to see what the vibe is. What's the energy? I just finished sitting at the mat, so I haven't closed up the space, so I'm still pretty much open. But I'm gonna see what the vibe is. Hola, Fiakita. See what the vibe is, see what the feel is going to be for this class. So I'm going to pull two cards, and this is going to be not just for today. This is going to be the energy of this program moving forward. This is as we're kicking off. This is what we're kicking off this program. So, Ori, what is it you need to know about self-mastery, divination, dream interpretation? What is the energy as we begin that journey today? And one more. Dream interpretation. What is the energy as we oh, Ashe. Okay, so this is this is so lovely. So first off, I just need you to know the visuals of the card, the similarity in the visuals is honestly crazy. The similarity in the visuals, two different decks, but the very similar visuals. And so first thing I notice is both of their eyes are closed. That is the first thing I noticed is that both of their eyes are closed. And considering we're talking about digging into our dreams, like they both look like they're sleeping, they both look like a dream, but also very similar aesthetics of terms of how they're positioned. It's very similar. And a lot of times, especially when we talked about how we felt as kids, dreaming and things like that, we didn't necessarily believe ourselves. Like a lot of times we were told, oh, it's just a dream. Just pray about it. Don't worry about it. It doesn't really mean anything. And so a lot of us may have kept our dreams to ourselves, may not have really thought a lot about our dreams. And this is a part where also, if you've been having really wild dreams, this is going to help you break any stigmas that you have about your dreamscape and your dream self. This is about you allowing yourself to be much more fuller in your own spiritual gifts and practice. So we are releasing shame, we are releasing any shame that we have around our spiritual gifts, our own divinity, and we are also believing in ourselves, which I thought was a beautiful pairing. We are believing in ourselves. This is a self mastery course. This is about you this is about you. This is a self mastery course. This is about you being able to interpret your dreams, at least the majority of them, on your own. This is so that you are able to interpret your dreams on your own. So, back of the deck energy was Ashe for the 1212. This is Sawachi with grounding, honoring ourselves, being very grounded, and also tell the truth. So now that we got some energy to kick us off for this beautiful journey. So we are going to first talk about some very interesting, it's interesting to me. Hopefully it'll be interesting to you. These are dream facts that are interesting to me. So we forget in a general sense, 95% of our dreams. 95% of our dreams, we actually forget them. Dreaming. When you are dreaming, you are in REM sleep. If you are having a dream, you are currently in REM sleep. For those who don't know what REM means, REM, REM, is rapid eye movement. That's when dreams happen. They happen when you're in REM sleep. And the rapid eye movement is what keeps your brain cool while we are dreaming. So our eyes are moving while we're asleep, and they're doing so that our brain stays cool as we are dreaming. Because even though we are physically asleep, that there's still our mind is still working. So there's energy still being put out. So the eye movement helps keep our brain cool. According to medical news today, even if you don't remember your dreams, you dreamt for about 3 to 6 times that night. So whether you remember it or not, at minimum, you dreamt between 3 to 6 times, and each dream lasted from 5 to 20 minutes. How many of y'all feel like your dreams feel like they lasted longer than that? I know I feel like mine be lasting like an hour, but at least 3 to 6 times you are dreaming throughout the night, and those dreams are lasting for anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes. Did you know that in the Bible, the word dream occurs 60 times? The word dream occurs 60 times in the Bible. And in the Bible, there are two people who accurately interpreted dreams. Who knows who they are? Like I'm not, I know because I did research, but I just want to see from for my former church kids, who knows the two people in the Bible who accurately interpreted dreams? Do you know? Do you know? Do you remember? Do you remember your Sunday school lessons? Who remembers? Anybody remember? Not Moses. That was a good guess though. That was a good guess, but not Moses. Joseph and Daniel. So now you know if you go to um, Jeopardy. This is your Jeopardy question. Who are the two people in the Bible? Who are the two people in the Bible who accurately interpreted dreams? It was Joseph and Daniel. Ashe, Miss O got it. Miss O got it. Ashe, Ashe. So now that we've had some very funny, some good dream facts, let's talk about what dreams are. So, what are dreams? And this is going to go through some scientific and some cultural perspectives. So, this is the psychological definition of a dream. A dream is our conscious mind pulling together information and our conscious mind trying to synthesize that information. It's our conscious mind trying to pull together information and our conscious mind trying to synthesize information. I knew I knew that was going to happen. So those of you who have not yet sent your heart me's, go ahead and send them in now. We have a goal of 9 heart me's. So thank y'all in advance. Thank you in advance. Multiple. We'll see how this one goes. Ashe, multiple. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So when I think of dreams in that capacity, how many of y'all have dreamt about work? Like you had a job and then you'd have a dream about something from the job happening that evening. Who's dreamt about work? Who's having late night, like you can't get away from the job because you're there in your sleep? Ashe, well, do well. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ashe. Janiqua says yes. Janiqua's hands in the air. Absolutely. I know that at least my two longest running jobs that I dreamt about that like job. So when I still worked at ADP, when I was a team lead, our job was to help our associates figure out what was going on with the client system. And so, in looking at what was happening in the client system, if I couldn't figure it out, it was nothing for me to like dream in the like I'm actively troubleshooting in my sleep. I'm actively troubleshooting this client's issue in my sleep. So this is like again, like from psychology says, we are trying to synthesize information. We're trying to work stuff out in our sleep. A general definition of dreams are a succession of images, ideas, emotions, and etc. that occur in the mind while it's asleep. So in the Bible, when we talk about dreams, and we mentioned that dreams does appear in the Bible, um, the scripture declares that the influence of the Spirit of God upon the soul extends to its sleeping as well as waking thoughts. Some other explanations for dreams are astral traveling to other times, dimensions, and planes of existence. Them being prophetic, meaning they are predicting something. Um, then we also have they offer clarity and insight, as well as divine communication. Other definitions include a series of scenes we witness and or experience while the physical body and conscious mind are sleeping. A series of scenes we witness and or experience while the physical body and conscious mind are sleeping. Note, when you are lucid, the body is still asleep, but the conscious mind does wake up. When you're lucid, the body is still asleep, but the conscious mind wakes up. When you're dreaming, these experiences are meant to help you synthesize information. This information can range from the mundane to the spiritual. Whether spiritual or mundane, the message and clarity have a source. It's up to you to determine who you believe that source to be. So that's about dreams, basic dreams. Anybody have any questions, comments, or anything about what we just went over about what a dream is and understanding dream basics? Anybody have questions, comments before I go on to the traumatic dreams, nightmares, or night terrors? Anybody got any questions, any comments for the dreams? Mrs. O, Alafia, Ashay. Anybody got anything, any questions or comments? Fantastic. So now we're going to talk about nightmares versus night terrors. So who is today years old? Unless you were one of my students in my previous class, then you might not be. But generally speaking, who's today years old when you learn that a nightmare and a night terror are not the same thing? Who knew that already, that nightmares and night terrors aren't the same thing? Alafia, Chief Olu, Oburoboy Aboshishe. One more heart me. And I need one more person to send me a heart me. It's one coin. I am worth a coin. One more heart me. Did not. Ashe. So, Molodupio. Thank you everyone for the heart me's. I mean, Molodupio, thank you. Okay. We free. We're free. Can y'all please speak to my son so he can go about his day and I can actually continue? Wait for what? I shall. Mm, I shall. Okay, stop chewing. So, doing research on nightmares versus night terrors. Per Healthline, this ain't me, but per Healthline, they are also called nighttime psychosis. I did feel away in reading that. Like, did you just call me crazy? But they refer to it as nighttime psychosis. This is Matthew Walker, PhD, describes it as being flagrantly psychotic. And they gave 5 good reasons based upon what the definition is of psychosis. Seeing things that are not there. If you are dreaming, you are seeing things that are not there. You're seeing something not there. That is the definition of hallucinating. Believing things that could not be true. You in the dream realm, right? You in the dream realm, like I can fly in this bug. Like I can fly and I have long wavy hair. Believing things not to be true. Delusional. Confused about time, place, and person. You don't know what day it is. You don't know where you're located at. You don't know what's happening. The confusion about time, place, and person, that is disorientation. Wildly fluctuating emotions. Apparently, that's called actively liable. And wake up and then forget all or most of the experience, amnesia. Let me tell you how I wanted to argue, but I felt I did not know. Like I felt like I wanted to argue, but I didn't know that I didn't have an argument. Right. So nightmares. Nightmares or parasomnias are unwanted behaviors, actions, thoughts, dreams that occur as you are falling asleep or as you're waking up or transitioning. Nightmares happen as you're falling asleep or as you're waking up. So, generally speaking, if you're going to have a nightmare, it'll either be like the first dream you have or the one you have just before you wake up. first dream you have or the one you have just after you wake up. Sleepwalking is often caused by nightmares, and generally you are in REM sleep when you have a nightmare. Children have more nightmares because they are closer to the unconscious than adults. Children tend to have more nightmares because they're closer to the unconscious than adults. Kids haven't developed rational thought. They haven't developed rationality. This is why they're more susceptible to be able to have a nightmare. There is an experience of a buildup of tension that happens in the unconscious. So nightmares are also thought to be a teaching moment. They are thought to be a teachable moment. So, in the sense of a nightmare, you had a previous dream. That previous dream was a knock on the door. There was something in that dream that wanted to be noticed. Subsequently, the knocks get louder and louder, and the image becomes more emotionally revocative. So, like, right. So, understanding that when you have a nightmare, hold on, where's this sound bath going? And now it's gone to the other thing. Where? Oh, there it is. There we go. Be quiet. Um, so understanding that when you have a nightmare, the nightmare is not the first dream. The nightmare is you've been having a series of dreams. Chances are a recurring dream, a recurring theme, something has been happening where your intention is trying to be brought to something and you're trying to resolve something, but it has not gotten resolved. So it gets louder. The knock gets louder at the door. Essentially, it's like you're having your own tower moment, but in your dreams. Nightmares allow you to face painful aspects of ourselves or experiences. Nightmares help you to face painful aspects of yourselves or experiences. So the tip is, and I know this is going to come with someone's going to say, well, how do I do that when I'm asleep? Understand when you go through the whole course, by the time you get to the end of the course, even though we're doing interpretation, your level of dreaming is going to be different. So the tips are confront whatever it is that is terrifying you in the nightmare. You have to face it in the night. You face it in the nightmare so that you don't need to face it in your waking life. So I'll give you a good example. Tornadoes. How many of y'all dreamt about tornadoes? Everybody tell me who else had a tornado dream? Drop me a tornado. Everybody's had a tornado dream. Drop a tornado saying that you have had a tornado dream. Bonus points. How many of y'all had that tornado dream and immediately tried to wake up? How many of y'all in the tornado dream and like, you know what, I'm getting up. I'm not staying here. So foolishness. Foolishness. I'm not gonna be that black person in a horror movie. I'm not staying. I'm gonna go ahead and just wake up. I'm getting up. I'm waking up. I'm not staying here. I'm staying here. Yes, ma'am. That's fine. So you have this tornado dream. So I have had tornado dreams, and the one I remember where my tornado dream started to shift in how they work. I'm on a bus. I'm on a bus, and for those of you who are like sensitive, apologies if you catch the visual. But I'm on a bus. It's cloudy. It's dark outside. I'm on a bus. There's a lot of people on the bus, and the bus driver is like, "Oh my God, there's a tornado in front of us." Everybody on the bus is freaking out, and it's like this twinge of I want to wake up, but I stay in the dream. And in that moment, I start to sing and pray. In the moment, I start to sing and pray. I don't wake up. We stay where we are and we keep going straight ahead. But I'm singing and praying in the dream. Since then, if I dream about tornadoes, there's almost never destruction where I'm at. Because in every instance, and that tornado dream I had before I received Oya. But since then, if I'm in a dream, having a tornado dream, and there's other people around me, I will teach them the Oriki for Oya and we'll sing to her. but I don't ever get destruction in my dream. Wherever we're at, we're just where we're at, and we face the tornado. So for me personally, this is not always the case for everyone, but it's about facing change. It's about finding your way into the eye of the storm. So for me personally, that tornado was like transformation and me not wanting to, me not running from the change. Me and also me standing in my authority and standing in my power. So for yourselves, you have to determine like what does that mean for you and how is that going to work, which is something we'll talk about in class. So facing the dream is important. Now, if you had that dream a few years ago, please understand I'm waking up. Like if I had the dream a few years ago, before I understood the significance of having dreams, I was waking up. I'm not staying here in this dream. Wake me up. And chances are strong I wasn't going back to sleep. Not only am I waking up, I'm probably not going back to sleep. Not only am I not waking up, I'm probably absolutely not going back to sleep. So now going to the difference between nightmares and dreams. So nightmares are regular bad dreams and they don't always wake you up. Nightmares don't always wake you up. And you can actually remember most of the content in a nightmare. If you're having a nightmare, you can actually remember most of the content. They are common and considered normal. And outside of children, women are also more prone to having nightmares, and they occur in REM sleep. Night terrors. Night terrors do not occur in REM sleep. When you have an actual night terror, you're not in REM sleep. If it's a night terror, you typically don't remember most of it. The fear is what lingers, but what you are afraid of is gone. They are more disorienting, and your eyes could actually be open when you have them. And you could be moving about while you're unconscious. So, again, sleepwalking. Night terrors are rare in adults, but they're very common in children ages 3 to 12. So that's the difference between nightmares and night terrors. So in our 13-month general journey, towards the end, we're going to have a whole month dedicated to traumatic dreams. And we're going to talk about tips and techniques to help with nightmares and night terrors, helping to minimize them, moving through them that you can use for yourself. And then especially if you have children and little ones, this may be helpful for them as well. So any everybody good? Can I give thumbs up? Everybody still good? Now that we talked about nightmares and night terrors, are we good here? I don't want to leave anybody lingering. Give me a thumbs up. Or one of my mods just come off mute and say we good. I say cool beans. So let's talk about why dreams matter. Why do you care? Why do you care if you have a dream? Regardless, whether the dream is for spiritual connection and growth or simply just to answer life's everyday questions, dreams hold the key. Some say they are simply working out what you did that day or recently, and that information can still be valuable in your waking life. If you have a spiritual practice, spirit, the divine, God speaks to us quite frequently while we're dreaming. When we're dreaming, our mouth is shut. We're not talking, we're not doing nothing, we're not focused on nothing else. We are, in essence, a captive audience in the moment when we're sleeping. So, all of those messages, now it's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock. All those messages that we typically are not getting when we are awake, we are getting those messages while we are asleep. I know that I have woken up in the middle of the night, back when I was still consistently waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's always something from work. Something from work, an idea, a project, a solution. I always would get something in my dream. In my dreams, I would get this random thing, and then I have to be like, then I would be fussed at because my colleagues were like, "Why are you sending emails at 3 o'clock in the morning?" So I don't forget. It's just so I don't forget. Chill out, chill out. Don't be worried about when I'm logged in. I needed to remember. I needed to remember. I've had dreams that pointed to something related to somebody else, and it was like, oh. And then I got to reach out, be like, hey, I just, are you good? Are you good? And then it'll, like, I dreamt about someone I went to kindergarten with recently, on somebody, and he was having a health issue. And I hadn't thought about this person since probably first grade. And then they popped in my head. So now I'm first trying to remember I remembered his nickname, but I couldn't remember his real name. So I'm like trying to reach out to people that I knew him. Like, yo, can anybody remember this guy? And is he on social media? Because I had a dream about him and I need to check in. So it's a way for us to get communication while we're relaxed in a way that we can put the information together without interruption from life, from day-to-day things. So here are some highlights on dreams and their significance across cultures. So did some research, and for the ones who are curious, when you enroll in the class, I will actually share with you some of the links for what I was looking at, because I found some really good stuff. I didn't put all the notes in because I didn't want this to take all day, but I found some really cool information out about dreams. So I found a historical site that talked about indigenous American culture. So dream interpretations differ cross culturally. So interpretations can have symbolic meanings for individuals and their communities. Interpretation can help understand greater cultural context. So hold on, because I'm going to make sure I'm going to endeavor not to butcher this. So Nene Quinaji, that's a tribe, and this is their dream theory. They believe that dreams guide their daily life. Their multinatural perspectivism called Ishawa. And this perspective implies that dream and waking life can blur into one another, and all animate beings have a dimension of personhood, and human identity can move throughout the different dream narratives. So, an example that they give is if they have a dream about elephants. Elephants are not indigenous to their land. So, if they see elephants, it is seen as a warning of sickness because they're not supposed to be there. So that is just a snippet of some, insight in how indigenous American culture, one nation, can see the dreams. In Japanese culture, what was cool is there's a whole paper done. This paper was done in 1995, and it was published in a psychiatry and clinical neuroscience journal. And it talks about the Japanese evolution in terms of their attitude around dreaming and how it shifted in phases. So their attitude varied by different stages of their culture. So when the prehistoric Jomo period, they believed that dreams were a part of their reality. As traditions like Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism come forward, these brought changes to how they saw dreams because it brought changes in their social and mental system. Then, as local and alien cultures merged, so like as Western cultures started to come and merge in with Japanese culture, the emergence of more supernatural beliefs became prevalent. At that point during the time, the dreams played an important role. Now, during the samurai period, more pragmatic thinking was prevalent, and there was a receptivity of the science of Western culture. As they moved through each phase of their cultural expansion, elements from the previous phase didn't phase out. They continue to just build on top of each other. And this is why animism is still present at every phase of their thinking. So, animism is everything has a spiritual essence. Everything has a spiritual essence. And in some cases, indicating everything having agency and free will. So, that is Japanese culture. So then I did actually find some content for it, some folks for E5. So I looked at, I only took two because I found a few, but I only decided to go off of two. So the first one is our Oluo's mentor, Alatunse Oloye Oba Femi Odogunwa. Alafia Aboshishe Aguato Ashuri Iwori Wofu Auntie. So this is from one of Obafemi's lessons. And this is dreams can come from various sources. Dreams can come from your Ori, your Oriyeye, Ori Baba, Egun, and Orisha. And he speaks about the importance of making sure that you're protected during your dreams. Because dreams, though they can come from those entities, they can also be brought about by shadows and negative forces can also impact your dreams. And this is why it's encouraged to do dream divination to discern communication, who the communication is coming from, and what they're actually trying to communicate. So you may see, I'm gonna use my car. You may see a car in my dreams. Let's say you're watching my dream on TV and it's like, oh, Ia's in her car. She must be going somewhere. She must be going on a trip or something. No, that's not what my car represents. Not in my dreams. But that I only know that because I've done divination to understand some of the common symbols of my dreams. Um, and I love that he mentioned that you get those dreams and they come from not just your Ori and Egon, but also from Orisha. Because I know a lot of times people are like, I think it's on Orisha in the dream. I'm a strong advocate to get divination to confirm. Like you made me think you dreamt about so and so and it's something else. So getting divination to confirm, but it also is it's not impossible. You just want to make sure that's actually what happens. Um Obafemi says that dreams are the sacred text of your personal priesthood. Personal. So, like the Holy Oduifa is the sacred text of our Ifa tradition. That is our sacred text. The Bible being the sacred text for Christians, the Quran being the sacred text for Muslims, um, the the sutras being sacred texts. So all of these sacred texts are aligned to different traditions. And sacred texts give meaning, purpose, and authenticity to that priesthood. The sacred texts give meaning, purpose, and authenticity to the priesthood. For you as an individual, you are the priest of your own destiny. Emojis, if that makes sense for you. And for your own life, you are the priest of your own destiny. Let me know if that makes sense to you. Ashe, Ashe. So for yourself, there is a code of conduct that matches your essence. For yourself, there is a code of conduct that matches your essence. What's good for you may not be good for the next person, and vice versa. So, like, I have an advisory against fasting. I am not supposed to fast. This is why I tend to get fussed at for not eating because I'm not supposed to fast. I'm not supposed to um, purposely and intentionally stop myself from eating. It doesn't mean I need to gorge myself. It means I'm not supposed to restrict myself from having food, having sustenance, because it's a symbol of lack to my Ori. It symbolizes lack. So I'm supposed to eat. I'm not supposed to deprive myself purposely of food. This does not mean I'm supposed to be eating when I'm asleep. It means that if I'm up and about and moving throughout the day, I should not be saying, well, maybe I won't eat because da, da, da. Nope. If my body said it need nourishment, and I need to be making sure I'm handling that. That's my personal code of conduct. Where somebody else is like, you need to make sure you fast like once a month. Every month you need to be fasting. That's not me. I don't need to do that in order to deepen my connection with spirit. I have other things that I can do to deepen that connection. I have other things that I can do to deepen that connection. So that is your personal code of conduct. The text, the text that helps inform yet your personal code of conduct comes to you in your dreams. When you are dreaming, it helps to inform you of your personal code of conduct. This is why when I tell people, if you see me in a dream dressed in one of my colors that you know is a taboo for me, say something, because that's significant. If I come to you in a dream and I got all black on, or I got a red dress on, that's you need to say something to me. You need to say something to me because there's a reason I would have appeared to you in that color, knowing that that is one of my colors that's taboo. So your dreams are the text that informs the conduct from your personal code of conduct. You can see it in your dreams. You can see it in your dreams. Now I know some of y'all's wheels are probably turning and imagining some of the things you have done, not done in your dreams, and wondering how that should be informing your waking life. And I'm glad that's exactly how you should be thinking. So on there's a YouTube channel called Get Better Life to TV, which talks about Yoruba culture and E5 very specifically. I really enjoy that channel. Um, so for them, they said dreams are where the physical and spiritual world meet, and our spirit can travel through that space to commune with our ancestors as well as other divinities, and that the messages that we receive in our dreams are very important, and that they're often clearer than the messages we get in our waking life. They're also a way for our Ori to speak to us without all the noise of the outside world. Our dreams can show us the right path, and they can also warn us from dangers. They can show us the right path, and they can also warn us from dangers. So now that we have discussed dreams through other cultures and have a better understanding of how some other cultures and some of the similarities, like across cultures, dreams are significant. And even more so now, we are seeing where psychology and other, sciences are also highlighting the importance of dreams. It's significant from a health perspective if you feel like you are not dreaming, because dreams happen in REM sleep. And if you're genuinely not having any dreams versus forgetting your dreams, that could be an indication of sleep issues. You might not be going into REM sleep, and you need to go into REM sleep because this is also when your body is doing its work. It is replenishing, it is restoring, it is healing. It is when your immune system does the most work, is when you are asleep. So, like, get out of my way. The doctor is in, let me do my healing work. But if your body is not completely resting, then it's going to show up in your health. Your blood pressure is going to, have blood pressure issues, high cortisol, all of these other health things are going to come forward. Jay, Alafia, Abawato, Ashudi Iwori. So this is why that's one of their health benefits to dreaming. Dreaming lets you work out things. You can make mistakes in the dream. Like, think of the dreams like a training ground. And you can make mistakes in the dream realm that you can't make in your waking life. So you can make these mistakes and you can, like, ask all these questions, do all this stuff in your dreams that you can't do in your waking life. Like, those who know me know I pop off in my dreams. Dream me says the things I don't say in my waking life, which also the point about my personal code of conduct did kind of make me want to think about that a little bit. But Dream Self says, I have time and my hands are ready to eat for everybody, but I'm not like that in my waking life. So I can do things in my dreams that I don't always do when I'm awake. So understanding why you have dreams, but also understanding why understanding your dreams is important. If you had a dream, clear, especially clear enough to remember, chances are there's something in the dream. Even the weirdest of dream scenarios, even the weirdest of dream scenarios can have a message. Even the weirdest ones. Also, the dreams are a good place to learn about yourself, like how you show up in your dreams, how you respond to things. This helps you to learn things about yourself that maybe you don't even realize is present. So, no, here's a question. Here's an idea. Here's another good dream fact. Dreams, they are visions you have when you're sleeping. Emojis, if that makes sense to you. Dreams are visions you have when you're asleep. Emojis, so I know that you got that. Dreams are visions that you have when you're asleep. So, if you have visions, a couple of y'all know where I'm going. If you are having visions, you're clairvoyant. If you are having visions, you are clairvoyant. All humans are a little psychic. All of them, because all humans inherently have a connection to the source. We're all a little psychic. The difference between a psychic and you is going in the spiritual gym. That is always going to be the answer from me. The difference between, you know, Junebug on the corner, who every once in a while says something real prophetic, and you're like, and that psychic that does that bomb pick a card is she works her gift out. She stretches it. It's a muscle. She uses it. She stretches it, and thus it works for her in a more direct way. Whereas most human beings, it's haphazard. The majority of the population are haphazardly psychic. They wake up from a dream. It's like, oh my God, I see my grandma in a dream. You don't think that makes you, but heaven forbid you put that ancestor altar up. Well, the dream is different. What's different? Other than you sleep and can hear clear. So if you feel like dream divination is not for you because you don't think you're psychic, you just had a vision in your sleep, sis. You just had a vision in your sleep, bro. You don't think you want to know what that vision meant? You don't think you should know. You don't find that suspicious? You don't you don't find that suspicious. You don't feel like you should know why you had the dream. That should just be something that's happening all willy nilly, and you shouldn't ask no questions. Okay, okay, alrighty then. Whatever floats your boat. I personally want to know why I dreamt about you know you know a volcano erupting in my city. Like I just want to know. I just want to know why I needed why I saw this. I got questions. Should I be concerned if I dreamt about a car accident? Like understand, my students have heard me say this. Women ain't allowed to drive me nowhere. Please know. I love y'all, and the ones who've met me in person will confirm. You can't drive me nowhere. I don't care if it's your car or not. You can't drive me nowhere because I kept having recurring dreams about a woman driving me somewhere and I end up in a car accident. None of all the women who have been friends with me know. Give me the keys to your car because you're not driving me. You're not driving me. I understand now what the dream is trying to say, but I still feel some kind of way. I don't really like girls driving me around. You can call me sexist all you want to. I receive that. I'm not really trying to hear you driving me around. Give me the keys to your car or move so I can drive mine. It's one of those two. Give me the keys to your car or we're driving mine. Either way, I'm driving. Either way, I'm driving the car. Either way, that's what's happening. I'm driving the car. So when we look at dream divination is essentially the ability to discern the meanings, messages, codes, etc., that you're receiving within your dreams. Dream divination is helping you to discern and understand the meanings, the messages, the codes that are coming to you in your dreams. So these are methods that I have used in my own dream divination process, and we'll talk a lot more about these when we go through the full program. So, symbolism. I am big on, especially because if I remember a dream, I remember it in like egregious detail. I want to know what everything meant. What place did the dream take place in? What did I hear in the dream? What colors did I see in the dream? Who are the people in the dream? What was everybody wearing? What was that thing on the wall over there? I want to know what everything in my dream represented. The situation and how these situations are coming up and thinking about life. So I'm looking at what happened in the dream and how it correlates to my life. So for a period of time before I got laid off, I used to have a reoccurring dream about my job. So I most people know that I worked for ADP. The building I worked in, and I don't know if they're constructed exactly the same way in all the locations, but I will say the two locations that I have seen is similar setup. It's mostly glass. Like it's a lot of glass, it's a lot of windows, it's a lot of glass, which makes it very great lighting, but it's a lot of glass. A tornado hit the building, a flood hit the building. There was an active pew pew in the building. For whatever reason, I had a dream about escape. The singing group in one of the wings of the building destroying all the cubicles. Clearly, it was time for me to go. Like it was clear. Like that wasn't like clearly it was time for me to go because that's when I was having the dreams. I was having the dreams leading all the way up until I left. I kept having like some form of foolishness, like in the dream, some form of foolishness in the dream. Yes, and I looked. It was like Tiny and Tamika is who I noticed, and I'm like, why is Escape and ADP doing construction work? I was so confused. Thank you for the crowd. Like it was time to escape. Yes, that dream was interesting because I see them destroying all the cubicles, and so I walk by like, what are y'all doing? So when I get to the next wing and turn around, it's like reality around me was being destroyed. So everywhere there should have been a cubicle, it was just abyss. It was just black. It was just black and abyss. And I was like, oh snap. And like, so then I realized what you said, Kiana, is no, escape. Like, get out of the building. Either get out of the building or go into the abyss with everything else. So recognizing that the like your dreams be trying to tell you something. So I pay attention to like what's happening in the dream and I look and see like what's going on in my life in that moment. I also take a look and use my tools. So what I can't via intuition alone, intuition with some support. Because that's what your tools are for. They are a support to you translating your intuitive hits. So whether that was tarot cards, oracle cards, dream divination books. I also recently now with E5, I do E5 divination, but I be in the trenches. I talk to Ori, so I use cowrie shells, whatever it is to make sure I know what my dream meant. Like I knew what the dream meant. So that's a little bit about divination. So we're here today though about cultivating a dream practice. So first off, that is, a term, at least I've never heard anybody else use it. So I won't say it's a term of my own making. I will say I have never ever heard anyone else utilize the terminology of cultivating a dream practice. So what do I mean when I say you're going to learn how to cultivate a dream practice? Now that I know, like 2020 is when I learned, oh, all these dreams you've been having all this time are important. And I'm like, okay, cool. My dreams are important. Bet. So, in the scope of this importance of my dreams, I started dream journaling and really paying attention to how I slept. I was watching, I want to say it's Bahati Life. And she talked about, the importance of making sure your bed is clear when you're sleeping because you don't want your mind cluttered. So you need to declutter around you to help you with sleep. And so I started like taking all these tips and putting them together. And it's like, this is what it looks like to cultivate a dream practice. So, first part is like your sleep quality and the connection to your dream quality. If you are not sleeping well, this is going to impact your dream recall. If you're not sleeping well, if you're not resting well, it's going to impact it. If you are mostly exhausted, like you crashed on the bed and you just simply passed out because you're exhausted, chances are, chances are you may not recall the dream since your body and mind is more focused on restoration. It's not that you won't dream, but you're not thinking about remembering the dream. You're just simply like, I just want to rest. I simply just want to rest. And so chances are in those moments, that's what's happening. You're resting and you are not getting that extra, oh, I'm going to remember my dream type of scenario. You just wake up and like, I needed that nap, or I needed to rest, or I needed that sleep. You may not remember your dreams. So it's important to take care of yourself throughout the day as well. I know some people who have really great dream recall when they nap midday, when they have a good midday nap. Is anybody else like that? Like um, having a good dream recall while you are napping midday as opposed to when you sleep at night because you have a better sleep. You're not as you're like that, Karita. Ashay. Ashay. I had a student that was like that, said like they midday nap, them dreams are clear. Those are the dreams they remember. They don't always remember the other dreams. Like they do not always remember the other dreams. Um Certain moon phases. So pay attention to the moon phases because they do impact your dreams. Pay attention. So for me, new moons are challenging. New moons are challenging for me to remember my dreams. I start remembering them a bit better as the moon starts to wax. But those few days when the new moon energy is present, I don't always remember my dreams like that. But let it be a full moon. I'll remember my dreams and yours. Let it be a full moon. I'm remembering my dreams and your dreams. Eclipse season, just I'm just gonna stay asleep because I'm gonna get all the tea in the astral. So I'm gonna just stay asleep. So I pay attention to like moon phases and how I'm dreaming. Pay attention to moon phase, how I'm dreaming. Um, Lean into understanding your own sleep patterns. What do you need to do so that you sleep well? What should your room look like? What colors should your room like? What do you need in order to sleep well? Because when you sleep well, you dream well. When you sleep well, you dream well. So hold on. I think I got a little puzzle piece. Yeah. And that didn't work. Hmm. Y'all playing. There we go. All right, cool bet. So, how to improve your dream recall? How to improve dream recall? So, now setting the tone for remembering what you dream. One, you need to tell yourself you want to remember. That's step one. You need to actively tell or read, I like to remember what we talk about in the astro. I want to remember my dreams. If you are not someone, if you are enrolling in the class, if you are enrolling in this class, the tool you need for class is a dream journal and a pen. You need a pen and a dream journal. You need a pen and a dream journal. And so what I started doing was I used to sleep with it. I'd stick it under my pillow and I would just sleep with it. So having a pen and a dream journal close by, under your pillow, you know, but someplace where you can sleep with it safely. When it comes to your dream journaling, do not judge yourself for how much you remember. I think a lot of times that's one of the biggest pitfalls. It's like, oh my God, I didn't remember anything. You remember more times sometimes than you realize that you do. When you first wake up, if you can, pick up that pen and journal and write down whatever's in your head. Whatever you first thought when you woke up is part of your dreamscape. When you first wake up, those first 5 minutes, you're still in the dreamscape. You're just now physically up, but you're still in the dreamscape. So, whatever those first things on your mind, did you remember a song, a situation, an emotion, a color? I don't care what it is, a food. Whatever that first thought is when you wake up, write it down. This is you saying, I want to remember. This is you saying, I want to remember. It, and there's no judgment, there's no quantifying how much you dreamt. Just accept what it is and do it. What this does is writing something down tells your mind you want to remember. You're basically training the muscle. You're basically telling the muscle, I want to remember. So if you are dreaming and you wake up and it's like, ooh, there's a song in your head. Like, how many of y'all have woke up with a song in your head? And you're like, I don't even know why this is here. It's a dream message. How many of y'all woke up and you like, there's this random song in your head? You like wake up, you headed to the bathroom with crust in your eyes, and but this song is playing in your head. That is a dream message. Karita says yes. That is a dream. That hearts from Kina. Yes. Those are messages from your dreams. Write them down. They're important. If you woke up irritated, and I'm like, it's first thing in the morning and nothing has happened, why am I irritated? That's the emotion lingering from the dream. Write it down. Write it down. That's emotion lingering from the dream. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. So whatever you're thinking, if you had this like, man, why am I thinking about something? Write it down. Write it down. Those first 5 to 10 minutes when you wake up, whatever it is, write it down. You are telling your mind, like, I do want to remember these things. And the more you do that, the more you will remember. You're training a muscle. You also want to set up a dream supportive sleep space. You want to be comfy. You want to set the stage that says, I want to have clear dreams. So, the room that you're sleeping in is important. Like, you got to set the mood for dreaming. You got to set the mood for dreaming. So, as much as possible, where you sleep is a sanctuary for resting your mind and body. As much as possible. I know that is not always going to be the case for everyone. Like, I am back home, I'm in the room that I grew up in, and everything's in here. Like, life is in here. All my shrines are in here, all this space. But as much as possible, before I go to sleep, I am doing a decluttering. Like, I'm trying to get the day, like the signs of the day taken care of. Last night I folded clothes like a grown up. Look at me. And I folded clothes and I put them away because they were sitting on the foot of my bed. So I folded clothes and I put them away like an adult, like a real grown up. I try to make sure like all my books are put away, everything's put away, and all the things are put away. When I'm in my own space and I have my own space and my room is big enough, if I have a nightstand, I try to do the same thing with my nightstand. Because you know how nightstands are. Nightstands are a good place for things to accumulate. So whenever possible, I try to make sure that accumulation thing is not happening. And so I try to keep the space as free of clutter as possible. If you sleep in a bed, because not everybody does. So if you do sleep in a bed, keep the sheets and pillowcases clean. It's funny because we had an advisory, not this last Itado Goon, but the one before that, to say like don't sleep on the same sheets more than 3 days in a row. And so it's like it's now a habit. I'm not having. I might have went like 4 or 5 previously, but now it's like okay, probably time to wash sheets. Okay, cool, bet. So making sure that you have a clean room and cleanse, energetically clean. So if your room itself is not warded, if your room itself is not warded, make sure you are warding your room spiritually, energetically ward your room, especially close to where you sleep at. So I tend to keep certain crystals close by. Like I have a lot of selenite. There's a lot of selenite in my room. It's a lot of selenite. in my room. And that has been the case for a couple of years now since I had one of those like moments you see on TV, this random person stopped me and she said, I don't know you and you can just do with this what you will, but you need to sleep with selenite in your pillowcase. She's like, you're really vulnerable when you're sleeping. And so to protect yourself, sleep with selenite in your pillowcase. And so I was like, okay, cool, bet. I appreciated it. So, and because I knew she's like, she didn't ask me to buy no selenite or anything like that. She just gave me the message. And that's when you know a message is legit, by the way. When the person just gives it to you and goes on about their business. They don't ask you for nothing. They're not trying to get nothing from you. They're not trying to say you need to do this. Just give you the message and go on about their life and go on about life. Also, what's the ambiance? What is the ambiance in your room? Do you light candles? Do you burn incense? What other kind of crystals might you have in your room? So here are some suggestions. This is not a hard and fast list. Do what is in alignment for you. These are just some suggestions. Choose white or blue. White or blue in terms of colors. White for it is a catch-all, but cleansing, purifying, and very protective. Blue is relaxing, offers mental clarity, and is also a peaceful color. Sheets. I will tell you, when I got the advisory to sleep on white sheets, I was like, bruh. But I will tell you, it has improved my sleep. I sleep so much better than I did when I was younger. And I know it's because I sleep on white sheets. Like at this point now, I exclusively only sleep on white sheets. I don't sleep on any other color. I sleep on white sheets. My comforter is not white, but my sheets, my pillowcases, I sleep on white sheets. I sleep on white sheets. Um, my comforter is actually blue. I got a Batman comforter. It's blue. Incense. Choose a scent that is associated with rest, sleep, and peace. Choose an incense that is associated with rest, sleep, and peace. My bad, Keena. Crystals. Choose crystals that are good for peace and for dreaming. So lapis lazuli, amethyst, clear quartz. And I like to include rose quartz around me because I like the energy of love being around me. And then think about the sounds. What are you listening to when you sleep? So sleep music or sounds are really good. Like I like ocean waves. I like the rain. I like storms. And I recently found tantric massage music, and I find that also lends to really good sleeping. So that's some ways to set the ambiance. What are you wearing when you go to bed? If you're not wearing nothing, then this don't apply to you. But for those folks who wear the things when they go to sleep, please be comfortable. Don't go to sleep in your jeans. Don't go to sleep in your jeans. Take the jeans off. Take the jeans off. Those are not relaxing clothes. Though. Jeans symbolize work. Take the things off. Take the things off. And if you're wearing something, choose colors that are peaceful. So I sleep in white. I sleep in white. When I go to sleep, I sleep in white. Your mindset, your mindset when you go to bed. You know how they say couples don't go to bed angry? Your mindset when you go to bed is important. So before you go to sleep, try journaling about your day to empty your head. Try journaling about your day so that you empty your head. Try meditating or simply spending a few minutes just being quiet before you sleep so that you can relax your body and mind. Stop scrolling. Look at me. Look at me. Come here. Come here. Stop scrolling. Stop scrolling before you go to sleep. Put it down. Put it down. Stop scrolling before you go to sleep. Stop scrolling. Stop scrolling. Stop scrolling. The light from your phone will mess up your circadian rhythm. The light from your phone, your tablet is going to mess up it does. It messes up your circadian rhythm. and it keeps your mind overly active. It keeps your mind overly active. Put the phone down. Put it down. Put it down. And if you are in a mood, if you're in a mood, anime is like the worst thing to watch, Tina, to go to sleep. You know, do you know I had a fully animated um what's it uh My Hero Academia dream and like full animation. Fully animated. Hmm. Hmm. Yes. Veggie Patty, that's a good point. Yep. Like, you know, like the way my dreams be dream when I'm watching TV. Veggie Patty made a good point. Turning off your Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on the phone, it reduces the electric frequency in your space as well. I don't have that like because my room was the room where they set up the modem, so my room has like the Wi. My room is the Wi-Fi. My room is the Wi-Fi, but I do have like a snake plant in my room and some other things in my room to kind of help as act as a filter because I am in a room surrounded like that's what's in my room. Um, for those of you who like to release before you go to sleep, I hope I don't have to translate that. For those of you who need release before you go to sleep, unless there's a health reason, unless there's a health reason, release before you go to sleep. It will clear your mind and relax your body. Plus, you'll be in a really good mood when you fall asleep. Also, post release clarity is good for connecting to the divine. Post release clarity is good for connecting with the divine. Now, protection while sleeping. The question we talked about this before is like, do you need protection? Maybe in a different live, darling, or if I have a few minutes after this one, since I'm in the middle of teaching a course. But that is a valid question, so I don't want you to feel like it's not a valid question. It is a good question, and it's really funny because you're coming in here late, and the oracle card I pulled was shame. Y'all remember that the oracle card I pulled earlier was shame. So I may touch on that a little bit. That timing of that phrasing was horrible, but we may speak on that after class is done if I have time because I still have small humans waiting for lunch. Like, still have small humans waiting for lunch, but that is definitely a valid question. So if I can't address it today, I do offer a free 15-minute consultation if you want to book a free 15-minute with me so we can talk about it privately, or that's something I can talk about on a different live because I do feel like it's a valid question. I do want you to know that it's actually a very valid question. Um, so protection while dreaming. So, do you need protection? The short answer is protection is always a good thing in your spiritual practice. Protection is a good thing in your spiritual practice. Your mind is vulnerable. Think about like hypnosis. It works because your conscious mind isn't at work. Hypnosis works because your conscious mind ain't clocked in. So you want to make sure that you are doing the things. Oh, you were invited. Ashay. Thanks, Naya. So you want to make sure you are doing the things to make sure that you are protected. So what could this potentially look like? This could look like prayers before you go to bed. We currently in our community have an advisory, and it's spoken a lot in the Odu to say prayers before you go to bed. So this could look like prayers before bed. This could look like spiritually cleansing the space prior to sleeping or burning a protective incense while you sleep. This could look like protective crystals. Amethyst is very good for that because amethyst is a filter. That's what amethyst does. Amethyst is a filter. So amethyst is an exceptionally good crystal to have around while you're sleeping. Water. A glass of water by your bed, close to your head. You pray over your water. So for my folks in the tradition, you do your water blessing. Do the water blessing and then program the water. Do the water blessing and then program the water. And then program the water. Tell it the water what you want. Set the intention to protect you while you sleep. You can also set the intention to remember your dreams. I actually took a dream class with my first mentor. I took a dream class with her, and she talked about ways to remember your dreams and things of that nature. And so she's the one that talked about sleeping with water by your head. So I started sleeping with water by my head. And if I had a nightstand now, there would be water by my head if I had room for a nightstand. So you sleep with the water by your head and you program it. Now, here's where I had to add my extra on there because I'm an Aquarius and I tend to be extra. So I would sleep with water by my head, but my tumbled amethyst and rose quartz sat in my water. So I had water with amethyst and rose quartz in the water. And then I'd wake up in the morning, touch the water, and rub my third eye and start writing my dreams down. So when I told her this, she said, pause, wait, does that help? Yes. Yes, in an open glass. Yes, Kina. Yep, in an open glass. In an open glass. Yes, ma'am. Ashe. Yes, we did get that in. Um, my first mentor would agree with you. Kai would agree with you because when I came back to class the next week and said what I did, they were like, "I'm sorry, what? What did you rub the water on your third eye?" I said, "Yeah, water holds memory, and I want to know what the I want to remember." And I told the water to help me remember. And so I figured since my third eye helps me to see, if I rub the memories on my third eye, I'd see the dream. It actually helped for me personally, but I have an interesting affinity for water. So it did actually help me in my dream recall. So y'all do with that what you will. I'm saying it helped me in my own dream recall. So now, in other practices, so indigenous practices, I wanted to bring this one up because a lot of times people get one of these and it's aesthetic and things of that nature. So in many indigenous American practices, to protect dreams, they use what's called a dream catcher. And essentially, what it's supposed to do is protect the dreamer from bad dreams and allow only the positive ones through. D, aboshishe aboato, shuri iwori wofun. Bad dreams would get stuck in the web, and good dreams would come through. Um, then in the sunshine, the bad dreams will be burned away or cleansed when the sun rays hit the dream catcher. So the ideal position for a dream catcher is near your bed, um, or wherever you sleep, and then sun rays hit it. Like Ashay, Ashay, send me a message, Mama Earthy. Send me a message. We could definitely like do a reading, do a divination to kind of see like help point you to the right mentors. Because I'm not going to ever say, "Oh, I'm the right mentor for you," because I don't know that. Like I might be, I'm a good one, but I might not be the mentor for you. But I'm also one who doesn't have ego involved when it comes to a mentor. So I will always divine, and because I know a few and say, okay, it may be me or it might be someone else. So just send me a message and I will talk to y'all about that. So just inbox me and we can talk about it. Just shoot me a DM. Hit me in my DMs. Hit me in the DM. So I wanted to talk about dream catchers because we see dream catchers everywhere. And I am one who is going to be about if you can get it from the source, that's where it should come from. Hopefully y'all can understand what I'm saying. If you're going to get a dream catcher, those are supposed to be consecrated blessed items, not tchotchke items because they're cute. So if you just like the way dream catchers look, then yeah, go off and go wherever. But if you want a real dream catcher, then you should be researching to see was this made by the tribes, because not all indigenous American tribes do dream catchers. You want to know the tribe that was responsible for putting the dream catcher together. Then it's also about positioning. It's a dream catcher. So unless you are someone who is, unsheltered and you sleep in your car on a regular basis, the ideal place for your dream catcher is not on the rear view mirror on the car, if that makes sense. So like right now, my dream catcher, I have a dream catcher. It's not where it would be, but I want to show you just a little. Let me see if I can do this like this. So like window, and then where that my what is that called? Wind chime. No, I have a wind chime in the house because I have a wind chime in the house. Don't ask questions. Don't ask questions. But they are directly across from one another. So if I wanted my dream catcher, I could hang my dream catcher up over there, and it would be in the perfect spot. It would be above my bed where I could, it's right where I'm sleeping at, and then it would be where dreams could get caught. Bad dreams would be caught in it, and that's how you want it set up. Alafia, I will shishe, I will ato, ashuri, uwolofo. I'm in the midst of teaching a class. So if there's something that you would like to say, you're more than welcome to say it in the comment section with regard to the topic at hand. You can watch my moderators will let you have been posting what we're talking about today, but I'm in the middle of teaching a dream course. You're more than welcome to sit in. Maybe you'll pick something up that you could take back to your own students to share them in that regard. Ashe. So things understanding dreams, bad dreams, dream catchers, that's another tool that could be used. So let's talk about things that can help enhance your dreams. So there are things that you can do to enhance your dreams. There are certain foods and herbs that are often associated with improving dream recall. There are certain foods and herbs that are associated with in the improving of dream recall. So I'm not going to go into a lot of them. Because I want you to please consult your primary care physician and a skilled herbalist prior to undergoing utilization of any plant medicine. Let me say that again. Let me say it again. Please consult your primary care physician and a skilled herbalist before undergoing any plant medicine regimens. Before doing that, don't just be out here like, oh my God, so and so on TikTok said I should do this, and not you don't know what your dosage is. You don't know if it's going to interfere with the medication that you own. Like, please have discernment. Please have discernment. Please have discernment when it comes to that. So making sure you understand what works for you. I do know that there are some things that work like for you and some things that don't. So, for instance, like if I'm on blood pressure medicine, I know I cannot do a lot of hibiscus tea. I need to be mindful of cayenne pepper. What's another one? Uh, olive leaf and grapeseed extract together. Specifically, why? Because all those things will drop my blood pressure. So if I'm taking medication to drop my blood pressure, I gotta be mindful of the herbs I'm doing at the same time because it will go. I can't do St. John's wort because St. John's wort will also impact, will counter my blood pressure medication if I'm on blood pressure medication. So really, like, yes. So see, knowing how herbs work, working together. This is why I talk to your doctor and a skilled herbalist before you start doing the things. Before you start doing the things. That's why I won't give you none. We might talk about them in the course of the full course, but I won't give you any here. I won't give you any here in this forum. Other things that help enhance sleep are um, getting adequate sleep. Things that help with dream recall are getting adequate sleep. Why? Because you don't just close your eyes and go into REM sleep. You don't just close your eyes and boom, I'm immediately in REM sleep. And unless you're like a guy, like unless you're a guy, because for whatever reason, like I watched my son and it was like, you just close your eyes. Why are your eyeballs moving like that? Are you already in REM sleep? I'm confused. I don't know how they do that. I don't know what kind of sorcery this is that makes them sleep that way. But in a general sense, for most humans, you go to sleep and you actually have to be asleep for some time before you actually hit REM sleep. And you don't dream until you hit REM sleep. You don't dream until you hit REM sleep. So this is why getting adequate sleep is important. This is why getting adequate sleep is important because you actually want to go into REM sleep and you want to be in REM sleep for a while so the dream can build and develop and actually be something that you can remember. So it can build and develop. Good health, taking care of your vessel, your body, your aura. This is not only the temple of your Ipanri, it is your antenna. So if your antenna is clogged and dirty and all these things, it's not going to be able to get a good signal. So you want to make sure you're taking care of your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, and as much as you possibly can, go to bed in a good mood. I have some of the most vivid dreams when I've been on the phone caking. If I've been on the phone caking, house of on shade, I go out to should you what will fool. If I've been on the phone caking and immediately fall asleep with some good dreams. Like this is story time. Like I got like 4 or 5 dreams I can write down in my journal back to back. Why? Because I went to sleep happy. I went to sleep in a good mood. If I manage to like meditate before I go to sleep and I'm like just feeling very zen, good, vivid dreams. So, yes, your mood will impact your quality of your dream and your ability to recall the dreams. Things that can disrupt your dreams. Obviously, stress. That's why, again, don't go to sleep angry. Obviously, stress is something that can impact your dreams. Um, your, your diet, just as much as your diet can improve, enhance your dreams, it can also disrupt them or give you crazy ones. So, years ago, I used to have really bad nightmares and night terrors, like really bad ones. Like I would not want to go back to sleep. They were just really bad and really scary and way too realistic. Like this wasn't like monsters. This was like things happening to the planet, and I didn't like seeing it. And it always happened after I ate chicken, always, and never failed. If I ate chicken for dinner that night, I was gonna have a crazy dream. And I would like sitting on the phone. I'd be talking to my mom and like, man, I dreamt about da 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 da. She's like, did you eat chicken tonight? Hold on. Go ahead and do a mod break. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the intro to the Dream Interpretation class. We have 13 people here in the live, and we definitely appreciate you for your presence. If we all could please go ahead and tap. We are currently at 67,000. If we could collectively Ashay, tutu well. Thank you for the break. I needed the hydration. Thank you. Thank y'all for thank y'all. Like I'm teaching, so I can't always like stop in the mid. Like this is a literal class, so I can't always just stop and say thank you. But I do want to take a quick second to say thank y'all for the gifts. Like that is an energy exchange. Thank you for the shares, the tapping. Like I appreciate that. I very much appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to hearing questions at the end. So, very much, I just want to say thank you. Thank you. And thank you to my moderators for keeping the room. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, Ashay. Ashay. Okay, so Ashay, Ashay. So do make sure you are mindful of what you're eating and also paying attention to those things. Like do pay attention to, oh, I ate this and I started having and I dreamt about this. Like really do. This is why journaling in general is important. This is how I knew it was chicken because I paid attention to what I was eating. Uh, I'm so good. You're not wrong. You're definitely not. You're not wrong about the mods. You're not wrong. Um, so making sure you're mindful, paying attention to your diet, and seeing how you're dreaming based upon how you're eating. And again, where you sleep at. Now, let me tell you where's a crazy place that I have slept and dreamt well. Let me pull up to a body of water in my car, crack the windows open, put my feet on the dash, and go to sleep. Especially because I have especially if I spiritually cleanse my car and my car has its own elecades. Please understand that is some magnificent sleep. Some absolutely magnificent sleep is happening there. Just some really grand sleep. So, like, making sure you're sleeping someplace that's going to promote good sleep because good sleep promotes good dreaming. So, I'm going to answer this question because I know it's going to come up. And I'm going to open up the floor for questions. I'm hopefully going to have at least 20 minutes or so to be able to answer questions. So, will lucid dreaming be covered in the full program? Because at this point, I'm basically at the end of the material for today. So, will lucid dreaming be covered in the program? No and yes. So, right now, I'm going to tell you what a lucid dream is. But if you're wondering, are you going to teach us how to lucid dream? No. And when I tell you what lucid dreaming is, you'll understand why I'm not going to teach you how to lucid dream. So, what is a lucid dream? When you are lucid dreaming, you are fully aware that you are dreaming while you are asleep. It is what happens when your conscious mind has woken up, but your physical body is still asleep and you're still actively in the dream. You're still actively in the dream when this happens. Now, for some people, when this happens, that realization that you're dreaming is so strong, you wake up. and you can't stay. Emojis for anybody that's had that experience. You have that moment, it's like, oh snap, I'm dreaming. But you can't stay in the dream. It's so strong. Your body says, oh, I'm supposed to be up. And then your body wakes up too, and thus it pulls you out of the dream. So that is normal. That's yes, that is normal. That is normal. Um, but when you're lucid dreaming, what lucid dream is, you can control and stay in the dream without letting your body wake up. You can remain present in the dream, and then you can control what's happening in some capacity. There's some aspect of the dream that you can control. I'll tell you like one or two situations just so you can understand that. This occurs during REM sleep. You must be in REM sleep to lucid dream because you have to be in REM sleep to dream. And you need to be in a deep sleep. Has anybody seen Inception? Do I have anybody that's seen the movie Inception? Anybody that's seen Inception? I need to see if Inception is streaming somewhere because that would be Inception. So in Inception, they had to be deep sleep. Like they had to be deep, like in the trenches sleep, in order to go lucid enough to actually to be sleep enough to go lucid. Now, about you're thinking like, oh my God, this is a far few. About 55% of people on Earth have experienced at least one lucid dream. What is rare are the people who do it constantly. But having a lucid dream itself is not a rare phenomenon. More than half the people in the world will have at least one in their lifetime. But there are people who go lucid without effort. My mother is always, always lucid. She said she is always fully aware that she is dreaming, and if she don't like it, she just goes someplace else. Sumaya, Alafia. She is always fully presently aware she's dreaming. I told her like that ain't normal, mommy, but she don't want to hear me. So she's always lucid. My mother is always, 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 always lucid. The same things that facilitate good dreams and help you with dream root. My cord. Hold on. Go ahead. Um, Ashay. So the same things that you do for good dreaming and dream recall are the things that help you go lucid. That's why I'm not going to teach you how to do go lucid in class. I can't do anything other than show you how to cultivate a good sleep and dream practice. If you do those things, if you have the gift of going lucid on a regular basis, you will. If you are someone who has a predisposition to going lucid and you have cultivated a good ritual, a good dream practice, you will go lucid. I don't have to teach you how to do that. It's just going to happen. That's why I don't teach it in class. I don't teach it in class like, I'm going to have a seminar, a master class on lucid dreaming. You don't have to do that. Sleep better. Sleep better. That's the secret. I know if I go to sleep at a decent time. Like let's say I have a night, the kids have gone to sleep early and I can go to sleep around 10 o'clock. If I go to around sleep around 10 o'clock, not only am I going to lucid dream, I will multi-level lucid dream. If not only will I lucid dream, I'm like for all of y'all who see an Inception, y'all understand what I mean. I will multi-level lucid dream. I just have to actually be getting some sleep. If I'm not getting any sleep, I can't do it. If I'm not sleeping sound, if I'm not getting at least 7 hours of sleep, I am not doing it. Like I'm not doing it. Not doing it. I'm not lucid dreaming. So that's why it's not in class. That's why we're not going to talk about it. because I just did. I just covered it. There you go. There's your lesson on lucid dreaming. You're welcome. Yeah. Look, you are you are welcome. You're welcome. So before questions start to come in, before questions start to come in, I have a question. Who's ready to join in and enroll in the class? Like if I gave you all of this beforehand, who's ready for the full class? Who's ready for the full class? Can I see a show? Who's ready? It's like, well, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this. What's the full class look like? What are we doing in the full curriculum? What the full curriculum gonna look like? So this is the introduction to self mastery through divination certificate program. Let me talk about that. This is self mastery through divination first certificate program. You will get a certificate of completion upon finishing this program. No, you're not going to be certified. I'm a certified dream interpreter. Don't tell it lie because I ain't say that. I said you got a certificate of completion. It will show that you will have mastered the material that you have learned. And throughout the process, you will be showing mastery. So this program is going to run like 12 to 13 or 14 months, depending on how we're pacing ourselves. And sessions, there are going to be 2 live sessions each month. One on the first Wednesday of the month. So next Wednesday is the first class. And then one on the third Wednesday. The first class is a lecture. So we're going to talk, ask questions, all those things in the first class. The expectation is in between that one and the next class, you are putting the information to work. You're journaling your dreams. And each month, each module is going to focus on one particular aspect of dream interpretation. Why one? It's one because I don't want you to get overwhelmed, especially if this is something new and you're developing this and you want to get good at it. I don't want you to go through trying to remember 15 things at once. I'm going to give you one thing each month. Focus from that one thing. That's it. Focus on that one thing. Next week, we're going to talk about what we know about ourselves and our dreams and what certain things about ourselves that we should be paying attention to. So we're going to talk about that. The second class, we're doing work. We're interpreting dreams. The second class. So we have lecture and we have lab every month. Lecture and lab. Lecture and then lab. And everybody will get an opportunity, not in the same class, but throughout the journey, to share something about their dream. Ideally, it'll be in the scope of what we talked about. This is not an opportunity for you to bring all your prophetic dreams to me and think you're going to get all of your dreams interpreted for $55 a month. Um, don't, 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 don't do that. 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 It's not what's gonna happen. It's not what's gonna happen. It's not. Classes are going to be approximately 75 minutes each. So in between dream journaling, focus observation, you will have homework, and then there'll be a quiz at the end of each month to make sure you understood the material we went over. At the end of the full 12 to 14 months, then there will be a final practical assignment where you will record a dream interpretation that you had. So you're going to take one of your dreams and you're going to record your interpretation, whether you send it as a voice recording, video recording, or just send me a summary. This is a dream. This is how I'm interpreting all the symbolism. And this is how I'm going to apply it to daily life because that's the goal. This is a self mastery through divination. It's not enough for you to just, oh, I know what these symbols mean. Can you put it together, interpret the full message, the full scope of why you're having this dream? And can you apply what you're learning into your life practically? That is the goal for this class. That's the goal. So at the end, you'll get your certificate of completion. And essentially, like I said, what this means is that the curriculum has learning objectives that you have met You've done all of your assignments and all the things. It is not illegal licensing. It is not granting you any authority over others. You're not going to be the priest or priestesses of dream interpretation after taking my class, at least not at this juncture. Uh, and it will not replace a professional certification. Requirements are you take the classes. Like you take the classes, you are engaged, you're doing your homework, and you can demonstrate understanding. Until you demonstrate understanding. So we're going to go through. This is the class one. This is the first class. Greetings. This is the first class. Next week we're talking about the dream self. Next month we'll do dream location. We're gonna also, and I'm not gonna stop saying next month. I'm just gonna tell you all the different topics. So dream self, dream location, the environmental conditions, lighting and visibility, colors, other people in your dreams, animals and plants, celestial and divine imagery, symbols, numbers, and objects, difficult dreams like nightmares, night terrors, or dreams where you're reliving trauma, recurring dreams, and what we call level one dreaming, integration and interpretation process. So, can you integrate everything that you've learned and start interpreting dreams on scale? And then, how do you apply this to your waking life? So now you've gotten the introduction to the class. You have gotten what all is covered. What questions do you have for me? I want to say questions, comments, emotional outbursts. What is it, 10 till? So I got 25 minutes. 25 minutes for y'all to like questions, comments, emotional outbursts. Go for it. And you can just say, like, I'm geeked, I'm excited, I want to do this, da da da. Go for it. What do you have for me? Well, do put on I'm glad you thought it was a good intro class. Ashay. Anybody else? What link was she trying to find? Which link is it working? Or which link is it there? What link is not there? Okay. Just if it helps, if you go in the link tree, just click the first link. All of the links point to my website. Every link in my link tree, for the most part, unless it's social media, points to my website. All of them point to my website. So if you click one, it should take you to just a page on my website, and then you could just go to. If you're looking for the class, there's a courses link right at the top that you can just click on. But every link in my link tree goes to my website. They're just instead of you having to navigate, I just put some of the most popular ones in my link tree. But if none of them work, then I need to know. That part I do need to know. If none of them work, I need to know. But all the links go to my website. They're just landing on a particular page. You can always go back to the home page or to where you really want to go. No questions? No emotional outbursts? Is that a good thing? Actually, Why you like? First off, I don't like. I don't purposely snatch any edges. I don't like no. And then like, I do a little distance Reiki on the edges. I do a little distance Reiki on the edges. A little distance Reiki on the edges to make the hair come back. Don't worry, it won't stay gone long. Like I'm just gonna do a little distance Reiki on your edges so that they come back. I also don't purposely make folks cry. I do not. I don't purposely. Whatever. 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 First off, I need everybody to stop. I need everybody to stop co-signing the boo-hooing in my class. Like you're gonna scare everybody. Like y'all, hey, look at me. Don't listen to them. Look at me. Look at me. It's good. Come on. Like it's me. Like don't listen to me. Like, it's fine. Everything's fine here. Everything's fine. Don't listen to them. Come. So, so is there anything else? Any other questions? Any questions about what I went over? Was it easy to understand? Like, especially folks who don't take my classes. I would love it if anybody here that's not one of my active students doesn't take classes, was here from any part of this material. Were you able to get it? Like, was this good for you? I would really love some genuine feedback. Like, was this good for you? Was this worth your time? All of the good things. And even if you don't come and take the full class, I hope that you will put everything you gathered today into action. Even if you don't come to take the full class, come and to everything. Um, um, hmm, hmm. For the most part, I always record my classes. So even if you don't make the class live, I'm recording them. And so the way I have the classroom set up is that after I do a lecture, I'm gonna drop the recording in the class. So like right now, this one I'm recording on my laptop. And so I'm gonna drop the recording in the class. And then that way they can, go back and look at it. And then if I make any printables, like I haven't done any PDFs, but if I do PDFs for classes because I am prone to doing so, then yes, those printables are available for folks. So if you enroll in the classes, like I can't come live, but I want to get the material, that's totally fine. Like right now, Ori Pathways is my other class. Ori Pathways is now available for self-paced because I'm not going to teach it live again until October. So I took all the replays from this past cohort, uploaded them along with journal prompts, homework assignments, and quizzes. And so now even that one is available on my site for folks to enroll and just do self-paced. I just trickled the lessons through to where you can't start another lesson too soon because I know you ain't do no work. So I paced it out to where you can't progress to the next one until a sufficient amount of time has passed for you to actually be there. This one's going to be a little bit different. Um, so yeah, absolutely. So definitely, as I do the things, I will definitely make sure I have things that are printables for folks who, maybe need an ebook format. So yep, that would be something I will work on. Ashay. Anybody else? Oh, good. Anybody else? I will say I did good. I did good. So I am looking forward to seeing lots of new faces. Steak, steak. I cooked steak and pasta last night. So steak and pasta last night in the essence of Marry Me chicken. So if anybody's ever had Marry Me chicken, I basically did my steak like Marry Me chicken, and that's what I made for dinner last night. And then I had like an extra steak because I was going to eat steak and eggs this morning, but that didn't happen. So now I'm just eating steak because I ate all the pasta out of my bowl already. That's what I've been eating on. All right. So I feel like everybody's good. Everybody has learned much. Everybody, you had like, so we have, you had half my breakfast and I had, yeah, that's cool. So I hope everybody has learned much, is excited for enrollment. So if you go to the Tink and the Lio, sorry, my bad. If everybody enjoyed themselves, and you're like, yo, I want to come to this class. How can I get on? How can I get into this class? You can go to the Tink and the Lio. And this specific class may not be linked there, but all my website links are there. All the links in my link tree go to my website for the most part. Other than I think there's one for like my Cash App and my Venmo. And if you want to click that, you can click those too. But go to the Ticket Alio and there is a courses tab right there in the menu on my homepage. So go to courses, and then you will see self mastery through divination, the dream interpretation class. You also see some other courses that are available. You're more than welcome to enroll in any of those. If you have any questions, and there's, you can either purchase a course outright or you can do monthly. So there are choices because some people like, I'm just going to get the course outright. By all means, you are feel free to do so, or you can do the monthly option. And so definitely send me a message. If you go to my site, it has a live chat. That's the best way to send me a message. I'll get it on here, but you will end up in message request oblivion, and I have to get past all of the folks that's in my DMs talking about the ancestors told me to reach out to you. They did not. So once I navigate through all of them, I will definitely see you. But I'm just letting you know that if you want to get to me faster, on my site is a live chat. And yes, you can send a live chat even from your phone. You'll see the little chat bubble down at the bottom right hand side of the screen, and that will help you to send me a live chat. So you're more than welcome to do that. Also, if you have any questions about any other classes, you can definitely send me a message there. Hold on.